What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Nacho Wrestling, and in today's video we are doing something that if you're an avid wrestling YouTube watcher, you've seen these videos thousands of times, and you're going to see these videos thousands of times again after this one. We are looking at top 10 AEW versus WWE Dream Matches. And now these dream matches are my personal dream matches. They aren't something that I collectively went out there and gathered and asked people, hey, what do you want to see? This wasn't a survey or anything like that. This was just something that I put together if all the planets and stars aligned and WWE and AEW put their tribalistic tendencies aside and decided to work together for one night only. Also, one last thing, some talents may appear on this list more than once. If they do, don't sue me, okay? With that being said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay up to date on all things Nacho Wrestling, and if this is your first time watching a Nacho Wrestling video, why don't you consider hitting the subscribe button? I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and your help would be greatly appreciated. With that out of the way, let's get on with the 10 count. Number 10. We have Daniel Garcia versus Charlie Dempsey. Now this match is purely for the wrestle folk, the grapple folk, if you will, the people that really love technical wrestling. Daniel Garcia, of course, is a very acclaimed technical wrestler, as is Charlie Dempsey, who is the literal son of William Regal, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, in my opinion at least. And another good thing is that both men, Garcia especially, can wrestle multiple different styles if need be. So if they want to take it into more a high-octane, fast-paced match, both men can definitely do that. And let's be honest, Charlie Dempsey's in fucking NXT right now. Let's get him in there with some real wrestling hoopers, not actual hoopers from the University of Tennessee men's basketball team. There is an alternate reality, however, where this match is much more likely of a possibility since Daniel Garcia just re-signed with AEW. Of course, there's an alternate reality where he actually signed with NXT, and this match is probably happening on an NXT PLE, or worse, NXT TV. Number 9, Private Party versus DIY. So this one sounds a little interesting on paper. Not many people would think Private Party versus DIY. They would think, oh, Young Bucks versus DIY. Oh, the FTR versus DIY again. I just realized I called them the FTR. Like, never mind. But Private Party has been my favorite tag team in AEW since its inception and since their debut. And over on the WWE side of things, DIY have been one of my favorite tag teams. Both singles guys are able to mesh well together with their styles. Ciampa and Gargano are really great as a team together, and to see them in the ring with another great team who can move just about as fast as them, maybe a little faster in Private Party, that match would be really great. And Private Party hitting a flurry of offense on Johnny Gargano and then him kicking out NXT 2017 style would feed families, move mountains, would do everything. Number 8, Chris Statlander versus Bayley. Both Bayley and Statlander are some of the most creative women in their respective divisions. Chris is a little taller and buffer than Bayley, so the size difference would be cool to see, and it would be a different type of size difference that Bayley has dealt with, not like Nia Jax or Piper Niven. Would be cool if they could work in some references to both women's former gimmicks and how they were once childish, more cartoony characters and are now more serious, cutthroat people. Shockingly, I would prefer to see Chris get the win here. I have enjoyed her work recently in the past few months, and I've just found her to be overall more entertaining than Bayley has been in the past couple of months. Number 7, Darby Allin versus Oba Femi. This one sounds a little weird, just like the Private Party versus DIY, but in a way, it just makes sense. I really want to see Oba body Darby and throw him around like an actual ragdoll. Darby would be able to take some beautiful pounces, power bombs, slams, tosses, whatever Oba wants to do, Oba could easily do with Darby. The slams. Imagine the slams. Number 6, Young Bucks versus Street Profits. I'm really tired of hearing about how it should be the Bucks versus the New Day or the New Day versus the Elite. Street Profits need to get some fucking compensation for all the work they've done for the tag division in WWE over the years. And what better way to do that than them having a match with the Young Bucks, one of the greatest tag teams in the past couple of years. The Bucks may have been auraless in the past few months, but they can still put on good matches, and they can definitely put on good matches with guys like Tez and Dawkins. Speaking of Dawkins, he really doesn't get the credit he deserves, but he really is a true hooper in that ring and can go just about as good as Tez can go. Number 5, Toni Storm versus Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany is one of the few college athletes that WWE has brought in the past couple of years that has really transitioned to wrestling like a weird wrestling wizard. Toni, on the other hand, is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, hands down today. You cannot deny that. And she's been doing some of the most interesting stuff in her career over in AEW. One of the main upsides of this match is that it could blend a very serious and comedic side because both women are able to do things on the serious side and on the comedic side. So having a match that blends those two realms of wrestling would really be interesting to see. Number 4, Hangman Page versus Drew McIntyre. The deranged, out-of-control face versus the other deranged, out-of-control face. What's there not to like about this match? Both guys would think they're in the right for whatever reason they have the match, and both guys would end up being partially wrong and partially right. It's really just a matter of the fact that both these guys have been on similar story paths the past couple of months. They both have been ostracized by the fans because of someone more popular than them, the shinier new toy, if you will. Or in Drew's case, the shinier, rusty old CM Punk. Would really be a good mix of meshing in styles between these two. Hangman can sort of wrestle any other style he wants, and meanwhile Drew McIntyre is a very hard-hitting striker in that ring, but can get quick and get fast when need be. I think they would be really good together in that ring. Naturally, this match would end with both men trying to commit manslaughter on each other, insinuating in a double countout or double disqualification, hence a draw. Number 3, MJF versus Cody Rhodes. Now, I know this match has happened in AEW, but let's be honest with ourselves. They should have had at least one more match before Cody left for WWE, and it's a shame that they didn't. This is definitely a jokey ha-ha-ha pick and not a very serious one since the match has happened already, so it's not a dream match. It's just a dream rematch, if you will. But with where MJF is now at in his career, and the same thing can be said with Cody, both men have evolved a lot since their meeting in the ring last time. One last thing to note is that the promos between these two may be what's more interesting than the match itself, but we'll never know unless we actually see it happen one day. Number 2, Hikaru Shida versus Rhea Ripley. Just like Drew and Hangman, this match would be a really good mix of styles. Hikaru Shida is able to wrestle a very nice, hard-hitting Joshi style, and Rhea Ripley does have Joshi elements involved in her wrestling. I think a lot of people forget that, but she definitely has a hard-hitting style that would mix well with that sort of hard-hitting Joshi style that Hikaru Shida wrestles. And just like Tiffany and Toni, they're some of the most creative women in the ring today, and I just think that they would be able to put on an absolute banger together. Number 1, drumroll please. It's Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns. I mean, come on, are you fucking stupid? Imagine the aura off between these two standing in the ring. The first 10 minutes of the match would be the two of them just standing there, staring at each other, oozing charisma, oozing machismo, all of it, whatever phrase, terminology you want to use. Oh my God. And one thing that I think a lot of people forget is that Roman can wrestle. Roman really can wrestle. He can put on good matches. His stuff these past couple of years as the tribal chief have just been slow and plodding and slow moving and everything like that, like molasses, because that's what he wants to do. That's what he's doing. He's telling a story in that ring. That's why he's, sauntering around talking in the ring more. But get him in there with the likes of Kenny Omega. Oh my God. And Kenny can wrestle too. I mean, I don't need to say that. We all know that Kenny can wrestle. He's one of the greatest wrestlers, like match rating wise, in the world. That is it for today's edition of the 10 Count. Let me know what dream matches between AEW and WWE that you guys want to see that I didn't mention down in the comments below. Like I said earlier, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date on all things Nacho Wrestling, and I will see you guys next time.